Hey guys, this video is about a girlfriend who is cheating with her boyfriend. Like the video's comment and subscribe the channel, so let's start the video. Jake sat alone on the park bench, his mind swirling with confusion and hurt. He couldn't shake off the feeling of betrayal that gnawed at him from within. Just yesterday, everything seemed perfect between him and his girlfriend Emily. They laughed, they shared dreams, they made promises. But today, everything had changed. It all started when Jake stumbled upon Emily's phone lying innocently on the coffee table. A message notification flashed on the screen, and without any ill intent, he picked it up to see if it was important. What he saw next shattered his world into a million pieces. The message was from a guy named Ryan, and the contents were enough to make Jake's blood run cold. It was filled with flirtatious emojis and suggestive language that made it clear they were more than just friends. Jake's hands trembled as he scrolled through the conversation, each word cutting deeper than the last. He confronted Emily that evening, hoping against hope that it was all just a misunderstanding. But the look of guilt in her eyes and the stammer in her voice confirmed his worst fears. She confessed to cheating on him with Ryan, a co-worker she claimed was just a friend. Jake couldn't believe it. How could Emily do this to him? They had been together for 3 years, sharing their hopes, their fears, their lives. He had trusted her with his heart, and she had crushed it without a second thought. As he sat there in the park, Jake's mind replayed their relationship like a broken record. He remembered the late-night conversations, the shared dreams of the future, the whispered promises of forever. His phone buzzed in his pocket, interrupting his thoughts. It was a message from Emily, begging for forgiveness and promising to make things right. But Jake couldn't bring himself to respond. How could he trust her again after what she had done? Lost in his pain, Jake didn't notice the figure approaching until they were standing right in front of him. It was Emily, her eyes red-rimmed and puffy from crying. She reached out a trembling hand, but Jake recoiled as if her touch burned. "Jake, please," Emily pleaded, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm so sorry. I made a mistake, a terrible mistake, but I love you. I never meant to hurt you." Jake wanted to believe her. He wanted to wrap her in his arms and pretend that everything was okay. But he couldn't ignore the sickening feeling in the pit of his stomach, the voice in his head screaming that he deserved better. "I don't know if I can do this anymore, Emily," Jake said, his voice hoarse with emotion. "I trusted you with everything, and you threw it all away for what? A fling with some guy from work?" Tears welled up in Emily's eyes as she sank to her knees in front of him. "Please, Jake," she sobbed, reaching for his hand. "I'll do anything to make it up to you. Just give me another chance." But Jake shook his head, his resolve hardening with each passing moment. "I can't, Emily," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "I deserve better than someone who would cheat on me without a second thought, someone who would throw away everything we had for a fleeting moment of pleasure." With that, Jake turned and walked away, leaving Emily alone on the park bench. As he made his way home, he couldn't shake off the feeling of emptiness that consumed him. But deep down, he knew that he had made the right choice. In the days that followed, Jake focused on healing his broken heart. He surrounded himself with friends and family who supported him through the pain. And slowly but surely, the wounds began to heal, and he found himself smiling again. As for Emily, Jake heard through the grapevine that she had tried to reach out to him several times, but he had ignored her attempts at reconciliation. He couldn't bring himself to forgive her, not after what she had done. Months passed, and Jake threw himself into his work and hobbies, determined to move on with his life. And although the scars of betrayal would always remain, he knew that he was stronger because of them. As he sat alone in his apartment one evening, Jake couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for the experience. It had taught him valuable lessons about trust, love, and forgiveness. And although the pain of Emily's betrayal would never fully fade, he knew that he was better off without her in his life. With a sigh, Jake turned off the light and climbed into bed, feeling a sense of peace wash over him. He was ready to face whatever the future held, knowing that he was stronger than he had ever been before.